Gas prices get all the blame, but here's the truth. On a motorcycle, bad fuel habits hit harder because your tank is small, your range is short, and every mistake shows up fast. You notice it right away. One sloppy fill-up, one bad pump habit, one gas station myth you believed for years, and suddenly you're watching the trip meter way sooner than you should. So let's talk about the fuel-saving stuff that actually matters for riders. Some of it starts at the pump, some of it starts with the bike, and some of it is just cutting through myths that cost you money every single week. Secret number 10 is the pump speed trap. Most riders grab the nozzle, squeeze full blast, and want to get out fast. But small motorcycle tanks don't always fill clean when fuel comes in that hard. You get more splash, more foam, and more annoying early shutoff. Then the nozzle clicks and you think the tank is full, but the fuel hasn't really settled yet. On a bike, where 1 gallon matters a lot more than it does in a car, that can change your real range more than you think. Here's how it works. Use a slower fill rate, especially near the end, and give the fuel a second to settle before trusting that first click. Secret number 9 is the tanker truck contamination problem. If a station is getting refilled while you're there, just leave and come back later. Here's something that a lot of riders miss. When fresh fuel gets dumped into underground tanks, it can stir up sediment and any water sitting low in the tank. Cars can have issues too, sure, but motorcycles are less forgiving. Smaller filters, smaller injectors, tighter passages. So if you see the tanker parked there, don't try to save 5 minutes. Ride to the next station instead. Now, secret number 8, and this one drains wallets every day, the premium fuel lie. Most people think premium means better fuel. Cleaner, stronger, more power, better mileage. That's not what octane means. Octane is about resisting knock. That's it. If your bike requires premium, use premium. If the manual says recommended instead of required, then you need to understand why your specific engine wants it. But if your bike is built for regular, filling it with premium doesn't unlock hidden power or magic MPG. You're just paying extra for fuel the engine may not need. Secret number 7 is the top-off expansion trap. Riders do this all the time because the tank is small and every mile feels important. The pump clicks, but you keep squeezing in a little more. Sounds smart, right? Not really. Fuel expands when it heats up. So if you pack the tank to the absolute top, then park the bike in the sun, that extra fuel has to go somewhere. Best case, it smells bad and makes a mess. Worst case, it can flood parts of the evaporative system on bikes that have one. And even on bikes without EVAP hardware, raw fuel where it shouldn't be is never a win. When it clicks and settles at the proper level, stop there. Secret number 6 is the morning fill-up myth. People love saying you should buy gas early because cold fuel is denser. Sounds smart, but underground station tanks stay pretty stable. So the time of day usually doesn't matter much. What matters more is station quality, fuel turnover, and seasonal blends. Winter blend fuel can carry less energy, so your MPG can drop even when nothing is wrong with the bike. A lot of riders think the engine suddenly has a problem, but sometimes it's just the fuel changing. And that's the point. Little pump myths get attention, but the bigger fuel savings usually start once the bike is moving. Secret number 5 is the tire pressure MPG thief. And on a motorcycle, this matters more than a lot of riders think. On a car, low pressure hurts fuel economy, sure. On a bike, it also changes the shape of the tire, grows the contact patch, adds rolling resistance, and makes the bike feel off in transitions. So now you're burning more fuel and dulling the handling at the same time. That's a bad trade. Even being a few PSI low can make the bike feel heavy, a little lazy to turn, and less willing to hold a clean line. Riders blame wind, road surface, suspension, anything but the tires. Check pressure cold, use the sticker or manual numbers, and don't guess by kicking the sidewall like it's 1978. And here's something that makes motorcycles different from cars. A bike leans, changes load front to rear under braking and acceleration, and depends on a small contact patch doing a very exact job. When pressure drops, the tire flexes more, heats up differently, and wastes more energy. You feel it in the bars, in the seat, and in the fuel range, even if you don't connect those dots right away. If you carry luggage or a passenger, this matters even more because load changes the tire's shape under you. The secret is simple. Tire pressure is one of the few fuel-saving fixes that costs almost nothing and improves safety at the same time. Secret number 4 is the chain drag secret. A dirty chain, a dry chain, or an over-tight chain is basically a friction generator hiding in plain sight. Every time the front sprocket pulls the chain around, some of that engine power should be going straight to the rear wheel. But if the chain is rough, kinked, rusty, or too tight, part of that power gets lost as heat and drag. It's not dramatic like a blown engine. It's worse in a way because it's constant. Small losses over a whole tank add up fast. A lot of riders tighten the chain too much because they think tight means precise. Here's the thing. The chain needs correct slack because the distance between the countershaft, swing arm pivot, and rear axle changes through suspension travel. It can feel fine on a stand, then get way tighter with the rider on the bike. Then you're loading bearings, stressing the output shaft, and creating drag every time the suspension moves. If the bike feels slightly held back, like a tiny rear brake is always on, don't ignore the chain. Clean it, lube it, and set slack to spec, not to instinct. Secret number 3 is the maintenance blind spot. Riders chase fuel additives and miracle cleaners while ignoring the simple stuff that actually changes range. If the air filter is clogged, the engine has to work harder to breathe. If the oil grade is wrong, internal drag can go up. If the plugs are worn, combustion may not be as clean. And if one brake caliper is dragging just a little, you're feeding fuel into a problem that has nothing to do with gasoline quality. Here's what usually happens. MPG slips slowly, so it doesn't feel urgent. The bike still starts, still runs, still gets down the road. But range drops, heat rises, throttle input creeps up, and you adjust without realizing it. So give the bike a quick real-world check. Cold tire pressures, chain condition, and slack. Spin the wheels if the bike is safely supported and feel for brake drag. Check the air filter. Use the oil grade the manual calls for, not whatever some forum hero says is better. These aren't just MPG details. They're handling, braking, heat, reliability, all of it. Once the bike is mechanically right, the next big variable is you, because the same motorcycle on the same road can get very different mileage depending on the rider. Secret number 2 is the aerodynamic wall. This changes everything once you're out on open road. On a motorcycle, air is a huge deal because you're basically a person sitting in the wind with a machine under you. Drag climbs fast with speed, so the jump from 65 to 80 doesn't feel that wild in your head. But the fuel penalty absolutely is. That's why a bike can feel smooth and easy at one speed, then suddenly start drinking fuel when you push past it. And it's not just speed itself. Your body position matters. Wide elbows, a loose jacket, big saddlebags, an empty top box. All of that adds drag. If you want to stretch a tank, make a smaller hole in the air. Secret number 1 is the smooth wrist technique. A lot of people hear fuel-saving advice from car drivers and try to use pulse and glide on a motorcycle. Most of the time, that just makes things worse. Hard acceleration, then backing off, then getting back on the gas usually wastes more than it saves because you're repeatedly asking the bike to overcome inertia. Then traffic shows up, you brake, and now that fuel became speed and then brake heat. Smooth roll-ons, clean shifts, looking ahead, and carrying momentum without rushing, that's where range comes from. And this connects to the warm-up idling trap too. Modern fuel-injected bikes usually don't need a long driveway warm-up. Start it, let it stabilize for a brief moment, then ride off gently. That's the efficient way to build heat. Long idling burns fuel while going nowhere, and short trips make it worse because the engine spends too much time cold. The secret is stacking small wins, because better range usually comes from habits, not one magic trick. Drop a comment with your bike, engine size, and best real-world MPG so riders can compare honest numbers. And if you've got a fuel-saving habit that actually works, share that too.